Hi, it's day 13 of our Mindful Living Challenge. I am your host, Nzinga, and today's pose is butterfly pose. Butterfly pose is one of my favorites. It's also really good for increasing your flexibility of the spine. It's really good for helping your hips. It's also great for relieving stress from your body, and it can lower the pain that you also have into your legs. And there are some studies that say it might be helpful with high blood pressure. Okay, so how do we get into this pose? We bring our feet together as best as possible. The nuance in this pose is where your hips will land, where your knees will land because of your hips. So for those of you who may find this to be super difficult, you can always bring a block between your feet to just help with that. Sometimes, depending on what variation, if it's a more restorative practice, you can bring some blocks underneath your knees for support. Uh, Typically, then there's a variation 1 and 2. For variation 1, we grab the bottom of our feet with our left hand and then close our toes together with our right. We inhale and lengthen the spine, and on our exhale, we drop down, keeping the spine long and elbows move towards the body. And we just use our hip flexors to draw the knees down. So that's variation 1. Variation 2, you'd open up the feet as if it was a book. You drop the chin to your chest and you round the spine and you draw your head towards your feet. And then you would hold there for 5 breaths, both variations for 5 breaths. Again, typically the variation 1 feels more accessible. Not everyone's going to be able to get their head down to their feet for variation 2. So if this is your stop, let that be your stop, and that's perfectly okay. So let's go into our flow. All right, so come into a seated position. Sometimes I like to bring a block underneath my seat. That's really up to you. And take a moment to settle into the space, closing your eyes if it resonates with you, and if not, softening your gaze. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Let's do that again. In through the nose and out through the mouth. 3 more times on your own. In, then out. Take a moment to set an intention for today's session. And as you move through this practice, use that intention to help guide you through the practice. All right, let's go. Dandasana, seated staff pose. So again, walk the hips back a few times so that your legs can be extended out nice and long. Plant the hands underneath the shoulders, round the shoulders down and back. Flex the feet, engage the quadriceps, pushing the heels away from you, chin to chest. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, lift the hands up. Exhale, fold. Holding here for 1. Again, finding the place that makes sense for you in this first round. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, look forward. Go for a deeper grip. 1, 2, squeezing those thighs together. 3, flexing the toes, relaxing the head down. And 5. Inhale up. Bend the knees. Walk the hips back a few times. All right. We are now going into our boat pose, lifting both legs up, either for half boat or full boat. We're holding here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale down and breathe. Second set. Holding here for 1, 2, 3. Pull the chest through. 4. Squeeze the thighs together. You should be feeling stronger now. And 5. Exhale down. Extend the legs out. Roll all the way down. Going into our bridge pose. So bend the knees, bringing the heels as close to your hips as possible. Maybe you grab your ankles, maybe not. Once you grab your ankles, you press the feet down and you push up, or you just push your hips up. Holding here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale. Roll the spine down. Draw the knees into the chest when releasing pose. Second set, a bridge and a few. Exhale the feet down. Grab your ankles. Push the hips up. Holding here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale down. Roll the spine onto the mat. Wrap the arms around the legs or use your arms. Sometimes what you can do also with recline, if it's uncomfortable to keep the thighs together, is you can bring the legs towards the outside of the body if that resonates with you a little bit more, especially if you have like a belly or your belly's in the way because you're pregnant or not, or if your chest is a little bit more voluptuous. So that'll give you some more space. On your next exhale, release that left leg and release the fingers beneath the right knee on top of the shin. Draw the leg out to the side, chin to chest, flex that left foot, keeping that leg nice and strong. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Switch. Drawing the left leg in, extending the right leg out. Again, keeping both shoulders grounded, chin to chest, and drawing that leg on the outside of the body, holding here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Wrapping the arms around the legs, going back to full version of when releasing pose. Start to rock back and forth. We're going to rock 2 more times, and then we're going to stay up. And slowly bring the soles of the feet together. Let your knees fall out to the side, grabbing the feet with the left hand underneath, and then grabbing the toes. If you can, inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Keeping the spine nice and long. Go as low as it feels good in your body. And once you find that spot, hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep rolling the shoulders down and back, keeping the spine nice and long, reaching with your chin, and 5. Inhale, lengthen, come back up. All right, this time we're just going to open up the feet. This version that we're going into is the rounded spine version. So on your exhale, drop your chin to your chest, round the spine back, and slowly come down. Imagining one day that your feet and your head touch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, roll up. Bring the thighs back together. Extend the legs out and roll all the way back down into Shavasana, Dead Man's Pose. And I want you to just lie there and breathe. Take some time to settle into the space. We always want to give time for Shavasana because it allows us to integrate the practice into our bodies and then just come back to the real world in a very intentional way. So let's talk about today's writing prompt, which is to practice a self-care activity that brings you joy today, and how does that activity help you cultivate a more positive mindset? So explore that, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Our pose of the day is fish pose, and that'll be the end of our Mindful Mind series. We try to keep all of the poses on the ground. I will be adding a bonus video tomorrow, and in that video, we will have a practice that involves the poses from week 1 all the way through to the poses for week 2. So, see you tomorrow and have a beautiful and lovely day.